The disgraced former Tory MP Lee Anderson, who was kicked out of the Tories a couple of weeks ago for being Islamophobic, has joined Reform. And the press conference where he announced he was joining Reform was just as hilarious as you would expect it to be. Check it out.
So I want to keep it brief, guys, ladies and gentlemen. I will start by saying I want my country back. Over the last year or so, I've had to do a lot of soul searching on my political journey, and it was laughing. And I don't expect much in politics other than to be able to speak my mind and speak on behalf... Is that you, Harry, laughing? Speak on behalf of my friends, family, and my constituents.
It just feels so appropriate that he got stuck behind a Union Jack and didn't even realise that he was stuck behind it. That's why people were laughing. I mean, he must be able to see that it's right in front of him. I mean, he must realise that the press can't see him because he's behind the fucking flag. The whole thing is just an epic shambles. So let's not forget that Lee Anderson said, I think it was a few months ago, that he claimed he was offered a lot of money to defect to Reform. So already, he's admitted that he's basically taken a bribe to do this. And he called Richard Tice, the leader of Reform, a pound shop Nigel Farage, and labelled it not a proper political party. I mean, let's just be clear, because a lot of people in the media, seasoned journalists, are talking about his defection to Reform. He didn't defect. He got sacked by the Tories. He is an independent MP who's joining Reform. He hasn't defected from the Conservative Party to Reform. He got booted out. They didn't want him. He had nowhere to go, and now he's joined Reform. Previously, Lee Anderson supported something called the Change of Party Affiliation Bill, which would make it a legal requirement for a by-election to be triggered if an MP changed political parties, so that the voters in their constituency could support somebody who represented the party that they wanted represented. So obviously, now that he's joined Reform, he wants to have a by-election in his constituency. Nah, of course he doesn't. Suddenly, it's too expensive to have a by-election, and, they're going to have a general election in a few months anyway, so he doesn't want to have a by-election. Why? Because he's miles behind in his seat, he's deeply unpopular, and he knows he's going to lose it at the next election. It's all such a mess. One of the things I loved the most was loads of Reform supporters celebrating this amazing victory of luring the politically homeless Lee Anderson into their party. This lady said, "To all the loony lefties who've constantly tweeted me to say Reform will not get even one MP, we've got one now." Unelected. Well done, Lee Anderson MP. Welcome to Reform. So I said, to everyone saying I never own a tiger, I now own a dead donkey with orange stripes painted on it. Congratulations, Reform.